Hello, my name is Justin Hamill. Today I will be discussing how to harvest a wild animal effectively and efficiently. How many of you enjoy being in the outdoors? Wouldn't you like the ability to provide food for yourself and your family? If you said yes to this, hunting is something you should consider. However, before you ever go out, something you need to think about. Hunting is not going out your front door, shooting the first animal you see, dragging it back and putting it in your freezer. There are many important steps to successfully accomplish what humans have been doing for thousands of years. The first steps begin before you ever go bounding into the woods to shoot an animal. You must check your equipment. Your equipment includes your gun or your bow or your crossbow. Anything you plan on dispatching an animal with needs to be tried. You need to practice with it. You need to bring ammo for that. Adequate ammo for the hunt. Adequate arrows for the hunt. You need to know your limitations and the limitations of your weapon. You also need to think about when you shoot that animal, how are you going to get it out of the woods? How far that animal is away from where you need to go. As noted by Larry Hope in The Man in the Woods, a book, the distance it takes to get an animal out of the woods is measured in dog years. Take the actual distance and multiply it by 7, and that's how far it's going to seem that you have to get that animal out. So if you have to travel 1 mile to get that animal out, it's going to feel like 7. So that's something to think about. Also, you need to have adequate knives. It means to butcher that animal while you're in the woods. Most of the time, you're not going to be able to take that animal out whole. So it's something to think about. Scouting is another key ingredient that needs to be tended to prior to departure. There's a couple things that scouting provides for you. Scouting will take you to the areas where you're thinking about hunting. It'll show you if the animals are available that you desire to hunt. Any habits that those animals have. Also gives you a chance to review the regulations in your local area. Shows you where the boundaries for private, state, or federal lands are. It also shows you any restrictions that apply to that specific animal. Now that you've done your homework and made the arduous trek to your secret hunting spot, it's time to test your skills. You finally found that animal that you're hunting, and you have to choose where to make the shot and when to make the shot. Shot placement will determine if an animal is dispatched quickly and humanely, or if you have to track that animal for miles and miles, or if you lose it altogether and you have a wounded animal. That's not ethical. You'll choose between a headshot and a vital shot. David Hartow, a contributing editor for Field and Stream, makes the decision a little bit easier. The average whitetail brain measures about 3 inches in diameter, whereas his vitals, his heart and lungs, measure about 10 inches in diameter. It's kind of a no-brainer to determine that you're going to shoot for the vitals, that area of the heart and lungs, and not the head. When not to shoot. This is also important. If you shoot and you wound an animal on the other side of it, that's not very ethical. Any obstructions between you and your target could throw off that arrow or that bullet. Again, not ethical. Now that you've squeezed the trigger, you've made that clean shot, or you loose that arrow and it's made a clean shot, and you have an animal down. Now the most important step, and the real work can begin. Cleaning, preserving, and transport. Cleaning starts with bleeding out that animal. Bleeding out that animal, it removes any bad taste, a lot of bad taste, from the animal. And it's also the first component in that animal to start breaking down, the blood. After that, you can move on to the entrails removal. Careful not to cut or nick the guts. No one likes it. It's nasty. It's important that you do not do that. Keep the area clean. It's important to clean the area after you've removed the entrails and to remain that way, free of any sticks and debris, mud, dirt, flies, anything. Meat division can be addressed at this time. Whether or not you can take that animal out whole, or you have to divide it up into smaller portions that are more manageable. Something to think about is how fast you do it. According to Dr. Helen Swaji, wildlife veterinarian with British Columbia, animals begin undergoing bacterial growth after death, leading to unpleasant changes in color, texture, smell, and pose a risk to human health. So after you've done that, you've done everything in a timely manner, you put them in the game bags and what you desired to get them out in. Finally, you can rest assured that you've accomplished your goals. You've prepared your equipment, you've made a clean, ethical kill, and you've taken the steps to get the meat out of the woods to consume. Now it's for you to enjoy.